Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another reading, and let's get right into it. I'm excited to see what messages come up today. What do we need to know? And gosh, what do we need to know? And everything just flew out. What do we need to know for this midweek reading? Okay, Five of Swords. Normally, it's a card of lost battles. This was reversed, by the way. Something you felt like you fought really hard for. You were like, yeah, you fought really hard for something. You went out there and like built something, pursued someone, you know, something that you really worked hard for. And sometimes you felt rejection, whether that was a job, career, person, friendships, a romantic relationship. You felt this rejection, but you kept trying anyway, seeing what different methods are there. What can I try this time? What can I do now? And this message is to say that it is reversed, and now you have got to accept that you have tried everything. You have done the most that you could to the best of your ability from what you had. You did everything. And the fact that it is reversed, to me, this indicates that there might still be some level of hanging on, that it's reluctance of accepting that, you know, you tried everything, you've done everything. So this is card more about what can I do next? What is the next thing for me left to do? Often when it's some level of rejection, some level of, something you really tried hard for, and now you're like, okay, what do I do? Just give up. Yes and no. It is giving up on the methods and things that you were trying for this one thing, the ways that you were trying to pursue this one person, the ways that you were trying to get hold of them. Often what comes out of it, and it's a pure gift, that if you've tried everything, what is coming out of it is always towards the one answer, which is something needs to be accepted within yourself, especially if it's to do with rejection. No one can really reject you unless a part of you is rejecting yourself. A part of you is either doesn't feel worthy in some ways, or doesn't feel deserving of something that you're wanting, and part of you has rejected you. It hurts. Rejection is the biggest hurt to the ego, right? It is, and it's hard to deal with. So how do we transcend this hurt ego towards what our next step is? How do we really accept ourselves at a deeper level so that we don't reject ourselves? And if we don't reject ourselves, the outer world is not going to reject you either. And the way we do that is, we do get 9 of Cups, is to know. And even like, if it helps you, make a list of things that you possess. And I'd rather you didn't make a list of material things, but more so who you are as a person. What makes you you? You know, what do you bring to this world? You know, is it your immense kindness? It is your sorry, I thought there was someone at the door. Is it your immense way of making feel people special? Is it your immense listening skills? Is it your communication skills? Is it the way you are ready and out there to help others no matter what? It's very much these things, rather than looking at monetary things and what you have and what you possess. And monetary successes or life successes in that way, if you define it, those are also great measures to a certain point. I don't want to ever negate like money doesn't matter, because it does, or material things don't matter, or, you know, looks don't matter, and all these things. I don't want to negate any of those, because they do matter to some extent. But once you realize that you possess so much more than all those things, then you have something else to be taken under your belt. You know, whatever you can't accept yourself, can't accept within yourself, is where you are facing rejection from. Maybe that feels like maybe you're someone who's kind of quiet, and you know, there are people out there who are very like extroverted and kind of loud and out there, and you kind of feel this sense of, I wish I was as confident as them, even though extroversion and confidence have not got much to do with each other. It just seems that way. That's confidence. Quiet confidence is equally valuable. So it's something like that, you know, something, maybe it's charisma in someone. You're basically judging yourself, which led you to pursue this person, pursue this job, pursue this friendship group in the first place. You're judging yourself on something that led you to do that in the first place, which means that part of you is not accepted by you. So what part is it? Now, once you accept that part, we do get the death card, which is all about transformation. It is a rebirth card, death and rebirth, which means that once you accept that part of you, you will go through most likely an ego death. And ego death will be some level of, or maybe you're already going through it, which is a certain level of loss of identity, or this almost like, who am I? What am I doing in this world, really? You kind of start questioning your objectives, your goals, and things that you want in life. Let me give you an example, right? So let's talk about career ladder, right? Let's talk about relationships. Say that you went out there, got an amazing job, worked on your career so much, and like, you know, kept going until you got to the higher position, and you've got this, right? And part of you was doing it to get approval of all the people around you, as well as have attract a certain kind of partner in your life. Maybe it's something like that, right? Again, this is just a story. Your situation will differ according to your circumstances, but that's what has come up within you. You have attracted this from a viewpoint from your eyes that I possess all these things, all these qualities, the success. Again, very admirable. Those things are great. If you have achieved that, I don't want you to negate that it doesn't matter, because it does. You know, ego does serve us to a certain point, but it is not us. It is not who we truly are. Our ego is there to, keep us safe in certain ways and kind of push us at times, you know, when we really need to be pushed, but it is not us. It is not the true essence of us. And if you are looking for the true essence of you, then that method is not going to work. If you are looking for a some level of, you know, like just a general life experience, it works. Our 3D world is like that. If you are more on the spiritual side, it just doesn't work that way, because it's a different realm that we are in. And transcending that ego and being accepting of yourself is the way forward, is the path forward. And we do get Six of Swords here, that you have had obstacles, you know, obstacles to overcome. For so long you have been overcoming those obstacles, and what a great job you have done of going through them, really, those obstacles, despite having so many come through again and again. And I think this links to the Five of Swords as well, and this is Six of Swords, Five of Swords as well, where you felt like you are at a lost battle, you know. You tried everything, it didn't work, and you faced so many obstacles, you did so much. There was almost this feeling of someone feeling like shame that you tried so much and it didn't work out. Shame that, like, for someone, I'm feeling like you're almost like, all that effort for what? All that work for what? And I would encourage you to see it this way. All that effort for this exact lesson in life, all that effort to get you to exactly the realization of this, what I'm saying right now, with your ego, the relationship with your ego, to recognize it, because without it, you wouldn't have ever recognized it. You wouldn't have realized how much of your life is run by it. You wouldn't have realized how much ego has been guiding you in many areas, even areas we don't recognize, you know. And that is ultimately the journey of the well, yes, the spiritual path, but also it does lead to a level of what I get is deep forgiveness eventually. And that will come, as we go along in this journey. But yeah, deep forgiveness for yourself, or compassion. But compassion is what I mean, not necessarily forgiveness yet. Compassion for all that work that you did, and compassion for that younger person who had to go through all those obstacles that you thought you had to go through, that you thought you had to do in order to get to the level that you have got to. All the sacrifices, all the maybe even like thinking about like career, you know, like certain ways you had to act in certain ways that you didn't want to. Maybe it's certain manipulation. Not, I don't mean like deep manipulation, but you know, in certain points where if it was like you in your personal life, you wouldn't do it, but at a workplace where it involved other people, and you could, that was the option available to you at that time. And that's where I get to the forgiveness. I kept hearing the word forgiveness in my mind, but I didn't know what it was linking to, and now I get it. It's forgiving yourself for acting in the ways that you don't feel like was in integrity before. Forgiving yourself for not being your complete self, because that lesson right now is available to you. And this exact moment when you realize that was the lesson, that ego death was needed in order for you to step into your next level of spiritual path, then you'll realize it's okay. You know, at the time I didn't do it, but I forgive myself because I did what I could to the best of my ability to that point, with the knowledge I had, with the expansion of the consciousness that you had. But now you have a different choice to make, and you can make a different choice in this time. So let's get a couple more cards. What else do we need to know? I still feel like carrying on with tarot. Ooh, 8 of Wands. This is a card of communication. Maybe someone is coming in to communicate with you, or you need to communicate something with someone. Who comes to your mind when you think of communication? One card did drop, and it's a teacher, the Hierophant. Hierophant is a spiritual teacher. Maybe it's time to work with a spiritual teacher who can help you integrate these lessons even deeper within you, so that you realize what a beautiful gift this lesson has been, and rather than beating yourself up about it. Maybe someone needs to work with a mentor. I've worked with several mentors myself, you know, spiritual mentors, and as well as mindset mentors, you know, and business mentors for starting my business. I've worked with many different mentors and coaches who have led me to this exact point that I'm at right now. And a coach or a mentor can really help you accelerate your process of whatever you're wanting to get to, right? And with spiritual growth, that only happens with time. That doesn't necessarily happen with you know, acceleration just with a coach, but a coach can really help you see that in a much deeper way. And yeah, so for someone out there, this is a message that having a spiritual coach or a coach who's going to help you really integrate these lessons deeper is going to be really beneficial to you. Maybe for some of you, it even looks like diving into a certain healing modality, Reiki, crystals, chakra healing linked with Reiki, you know, something like that. You might want to dive into something like that. Even yoga practice, breath work, dive into something like that. It's leading you somewhere. That exact thing is going to bring something to your life. So whatever you have been thinking about is something to look at. Nurturer of Cups, Queen of Cups, beautiful. Surrender mode. It is such surrender mode. I want to get the next card so that I can give a full message. And what a beautiful card. Oh, 10 of Coins, 10 of Pentacles. beautiful card. Okay, I felt almost like welled up in my throat right there, and I don't know why. And I think it's something's coming up there, that this surrender mode. Okay, here is what I get. Once you transcend this ego, you will reach a certain, and by the way, the Hierophant card, I said to get a coach. For some of you that's a message, but it also means next level of spiritual growth. So I'm going to refer to a book which has been life-changing for me, which is called In the Meantime by Iyanla Vanzant. In the Meantime, Iyanla Vanzant. And she talks about different levels of spiritual growth that we go through. And how do we gauge our levels of spiritual growth? And they're often gauged through our relationships in life. That could be with co-workers, our parents, our siblings, our romantic relationships that we are in. And often the way to gauge that is, how are we being treated in those relationships? How are we feeling? How are we acting in those relationships? You know, what is it that we are actually experiencing, and how does it match up with what you actually want to experience? What is it that you're actually experiencing, and how does it match up with what you actually want to experience? And if there is a level of that you are wanting to experience something more, much deeper, a level that possibly is closer to a level that you feel with God or the universe, you know, that pure, unconditional love. If that's what you want, if that is truly what you want, then that requires really, really deep compassion for yourself and others around you. But for yourself, for sure. For sure. And that is being reflected to you right now by your 3D reality. You take an account of who you're friends with, who is currently around you. How do you feel about them? Do you feel this deep essence of such love for them? And that's why I felt really welled up, because I feel that I've definitely had a recent spiritual growth with my heart chakra expanding to a new level that I didn't even know existed, truly didn't even know existed. And I'm so grateful for it, because it's made me so empathetic towards so many people. And you look at world with a different set of eyes and different perspective. You look at people towards their depth, and how they are. And this Nurturer of Cups, the Queen of Cups, is exactly that card. Queen of Cups is indicating such deep compassion for others, but also yourself. Oh my God. And 10 of Cups, 10 of Coins, which is 10 of Pentacles actually, is also is actually the card of having it all, having the abundance in terms of family, children. And if someone is wanting that family, you know, that maybe you have had, maybe you have been wanting to have this deep connection with someone, or you're wanting to be in your soul tribe, or you're wanting to have a family and, you know, start your own family, or maybe you are wanting to feel such deep sense of grounding and security. And Pentacles are quite an earthly suit, so this is what it is indicating. If you're wanting those things, that deep grounding to hold you. And you know, this is a family card though. You can see the baby elephant, mama elephant and papa elephant, that you're wanting deep grounding to your roots. An inquiry for you here might be, what brings you grounding right now in your life? Is it certain people, or is it your spiritual practices such as yoga, maybe even strength training, great for grounding, nature walks, meditating, breath work? Yeah, I keep coming back to all the tools that I had just mentioned about the new teachings that you may want to take on. Yeah, someone is feeling that deep sense of that's what you want to experience. You want to experience the ultimate, the ultimate kind of love, and that ultimate kind of love exists if that's what you want. It's just the path towards it is just slightly different to what we are used to in the 3D world, and the path towards it is deep unconditional love for yourself, for the people around you, and deep compassion and forgiveness for everything that you have been through and others have been through. It's deep. Today we're going deep. Gosh, Wednesday afternoon. Yeah, casual Wednesday afternoon, right? So let's get a few more cards, and I'm going to end this reading soon, right? So we're going to do this. What messages we get? Tosha Silver's deck. All right. Not everything is jumping out. I'm going to cut the deck. Confidence. Wow. Okay, let's see. Confidence. Divine confidence is completely different from bravado of the ego. You make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me with your confidence. Oh love, grant me courage I never knew I had. Beautiful. We just talked about ego. This whole reading was about ego. And we literally just got that true confidence. I'm actually doing a talk on my Instagram page next week with a lovely, lovely lady. And she's also my cousin. And we are both kind of working in similar fields. And so we're going to talk about how true confidence, real confidence that transcends ego comes from true healing, deeper healing. Yeah, divine confidence is completely different from the bravado of the ego. You make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me with your confidence, oh love. Yeah, that I think I feel complete. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's everything is linked to your ego, and the ego death that you may experience right now. It's not scary. I do want to reiterate, it's not scary. It's part of our spiritual process and what we go through, and often it's part of your identity, which may be lost, and maybe that looks like a certain role that you have been in, a certain title that you associate yourself with, but that's okay. It's part of life. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and yeah, if you did, please give it a like, subscribe, and a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next one.